Hi, welcome to Slideform. This is a short tutorial that will show you how to set up a data source, a template, and configure your automation to create automated reports directly from your BI data sources. So let's get started. When you first log into your trial Slideform account, you'll see a project has already been set up for you. This is the Tips and Tricks Welcome to Slideform project. Let's open it up and take a look at the project template. You can open up the project by clicking Configure. This template is based on a Google slide deck, and you can open the Google slide deck here. Now, this Google slide deck has some background information, and then beginning on page 5, it actually has some examples of how you can set up dynamic fields inside your Google Slides. On slide 5 is an example of how to pull in text or numbers from your BI dashboard or data source. For example, here we have a text placeholder surrounded in curly braces to hold our average customer score pulled from a data set. The next page shows you how to set up a chart. So if I want to pull in a chart from my data source and insert it into a slide dynamically, just create a shape like a rectangle and then type the name of your placeholder inside that rectangle, always beginning with the word chart, colon, and then a name for the chart. This chart can be replaced from any of your data sources dynamically. It can be filtered and use a custom date range as well. For a table, which is like a native Google Slides or PowerPoint table that you can edit and format in the slide deck, just create a shape again, and then start your pragma or placeholder with the word data. Finally, for an image, just create the shape that you want your image to be cropped to. And in the middle of that shape, insert a pragma with the starting with the word image and then a name for that image. And you'll see that can be filled in from your data source or from Google Drive or another source that you want to specify. Now, once your slide deck template is ready, you can upload it into Slideform and start saving that as a new project. But for us, we will go back into Slideform and talk about the data source. The data source is the second piece of information that you need to connect into Slideform. For this example, a demo data source has already been uploaded to Slideform. But to connect your own data source, just go to Data Sources and click Add Data Source. Here you'll be able to see all of the integrations that we support, and you can add any of them simply by clicking Add Integration and following the instructions on the screen. If you need help with your data source setup, please reach out to support@slideform.co or go to our Help Center, which is accessible here from the main menu. Once you have your data source set up, it will appear on a card like this, where you can browse by clicking Configure. You can remove it, or you can always refresh it if you've added information. Let's take a look at our demo data source here. I'll click Configure, and on this page, you'll be able to preview the charts that are available, for example, by selecting it and take a look at the charts that are captured by Slideform. You can also preview your tables and any metrics such as filters or drop-down values that you have on your dashboard. The previews will vary depending on what type of data source you have connected. Now, once those two pieces are in place, the last step in your project is to configure the mapping between the data source over to the slide deck template. This example is already set up. So let's take a look at that text placeholder that we have on slide 5. Remember, that was going to be our average customer score. So to set up that sort of a number coming from the database or from the dashboard, you can, I'll just walk you through it. You can click Preset a Value. Then in order to set up where that value comes from, we will choose where is the data from, and I'll select my data source. Then you can select from a variety of different metrics, predefined metric, or you can query it from a table, like if that value is found on a scorecard widget or other table on your data source. I'm going to use a predefined metric here just because that's how my data source is set up. Then I can select my metric from the available metrics, so my average health score. Now you can also use functions or sorts and even apply filters to the data depending on the setup that's necessary for your data source. And if you want to know what that number is going to be that's going to be inserted, you can always preview. For charts and data tables, it works very similarly. So you choose where the data source is and select the chart from your worksheet and the available charts. And you can always preview that chart if you want to make sure it's the correct one. A data table is similar. Just select the data source and the table. And you can also apply filters to the data if you only want partial information from that table. A photo or image can be uploaded into Slideform or selected from your connected data source. In this case, I want to put a headshot of one of our staff members in this circle and crop it to the circle. So once you complete all the data mapping, you can save the project. You can also set up a schedule or have the data output sent to Google Drive or SharePoint, and all of that is available from the configure screen. Finally, to generate the output from your project, just click the blue generate button. And if you have previews enabled, it will start showing you the previews of the slides here on this screen. If you want to skip the previews to save time, you can turn that off inside of the project settings. Or you can skip ahead and just click Get Final Results and choose your output format for the slide deck. We can go interchangeably between Google Slides, PowerPoint, and a PDF. Once that preview is ready, you'll see the slides depicted here on the screen, so you can take a look and review anything. And if it all looks good, click Get Final Results and choose your output format. Once you do that, it takes a couple of minutes to generate the final output results. We can see that here. So clicking on that link will bring you to the completed Google slide deck. And if we check on slide 5, you'll see the average customer score filled in correctly from our data set. Our chart is formatted and placed on the slide exactly where that rectangle was placed. Our data table is input and is an editable table for you to make any necessary adjustments. And our image is cropped and sized to the correct placement on the slide. So Slideform is here to help you automate these recurring business presentations from your BI data that you already maintain. For more information about Slideform, or if you need to contact support, please reach out and we are happy to help. Thank you.